Hello, everyone. Welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and with me I have two of my fabulous co-hosts, I Chill and Will. Hey, y'all.
Happy Pride Month.
Hello,
Happy
hello.
Pride
Be who you
Month.
are for your pride. Ew.
Yes. Yes, and as promised at the beginning of the show, so for the month of June for Pride Month, what we will be doing is highlighting some great LGBTQ people. And
Yeah.
we've actually named this section Pride Post, and this was coined by Beezus. So thank you so much, Beezus, for that. So for the Pride Post. So we did initially we did want pussy pride, but maybe because we realized that it was brought to my attention that everybody doesn't have a pussy, and I actually countered with everybody actually does have a pussy, but if they're using it or not is a different story. So, but yeah, so we decided not to go with Pussy Pride and we used Pride Pulse.
As a health professional, I'm going to stay out of that one right there. Don't ask me no questions about that. How about chill?
So let's go ahead and get started with the Pride Pulse. So for today's icon, we're going to honor somebody who, if it weren't for this person, we wouldn't have any type of pride to celebrate because of their efforts. We're going to talk about Marsha P. Johnson.
Yes, I even know who that is.
Okay, an icon, hun. Now, like when do we say now she's an icon, she's a legend, she is the moment. Now, come on now.
Yes. Come on, Marsha.
So I just shared this link from the National Women's History Museum that gives this nice bio about her. And it says Marsha P. Johnson was one of the most prominent figures of the gay rights movement of the 1960s and 1970s in New York City. Always sporting a smile, Johnson was an important advocate for homeless LGBTQ plus youth, those affected by HIV and AIDS, and gay and transgender rights. Marsha P. Johnson was born on August 24th of 1945, a Virgo, in Elizabeth, New Jersey. Assigned male at birth, Johnson grew up in an African American working class family. She was the fifth of seven children born to Malcolm Michael Sr. and Alberta Claiborne. Johnson's father worked on the General Motors assembly line in Linden, New Jersey, and her mother was a housekeeper. Johnson grew up in a religious family and began attending Mount Teman African Methodist Episcopal Church as a child. She remained a practicing Christian for the rest of her life. Johnson enjoyed wearing clothes made for women and wore dresses starting at age 5. Even though these clothes reflected her sense of self, she felt pressure to stop due to other children's bullying and experiencing a sexual assault at the hands of a 13-year-old boy. Immediately after graduating from Thomas A. Edison High School, Johnson moved to New York City with one bag of clothes and $15. Once in New York, Johnson returned to dressing in clothing made for women and adopted the full name Marsha P. Johnson. The P stood for Pay It No Mind, a phrase that became her motto. Johnson described herself as a gay person, a transvestite, and a drag queen, and used she, her pronouns. The term transgender only became commonly used after her death. According to her nephew, Johnson always maintained a close but fraught relationship with her family back in New Jersey. It was not easy to live on the margins. New York State still prosecuted gay people and frequently criminalized their activities and presence. Rights for LGBTQ plus people were limited and sometimes ignored completely. Having difficulty finding employment, Johnson turned to sex work. She was often abused by clients and arrested by the police. She also did not have a permanent home during this time and bounced around sleeping at friends' homes, hotels, restaurants, and movie theaters. She also found work waiting tables and performing in drag shows. In a 1992 interview, Johnson said, I was no one, nobody from Nowhereville until I became a drag queen. Not long after moving to New York, then 17-year-old Johnson met 11-year-old Sylvia Rivera. Rivera, a Puerto Rican transgender girl, and the two became instant friends. Rivera later said of Johnson, she was like a mother to me. As Johnson had done for herself, she encouraged Rivera to love herself and her identity. Johnson adored wearing colorful, fun outfits that she made from finds in thrift stores and discarded items. She was also often seen wearing a crown of flowers. Johnson's life changed when she found herself engaging with the resistance at the Stonewall Inn on June 28th of 1969. In the early morning hours, police raided the bar and began arresting the patrons, most of whom were gay men. Johnson and Rivera arrived at Stonewall around 2 a.m., where Johnson said later, she said in a later interview, the place was already on fire and there was a raid already. The riots had already started. There are many competing stories about what Johnson did during the raid on Stonewall Inn, but it is clear she was on the front lines. Johnson, like many other transgender women, felt they had nothing to lose. They were not only angered by the police raid, but also the oppression and fear they experienced every day. In the wake of the raid, Johnson and Rivera led a series of protests. The raid on Stonewall galvanized the gay rights movement. The first gay pride parade took place in 1970, and a series of gay rights groups, including the Gay Liberation Front, a more radical organization, and the Gay Activist Alliance, a more moderate and focused spin-off of the group, emerged. Johnson was involved in the early days, but grew frustrated by the exclusion of transgender and LGBTQ people of color from the movement. She actively spoke about the transphobia in the early gay rights movement. In 1970, Johnson and Rivera founded Street Transvestite Action Revolutionaries, which is a STAR, an organization dedicated to sheltering young transgender individuals who were shunned by their families. The two also began Star House, a place where transgender youth could stay and feel safe. Star House was of personal importance to Johnson and Rivera, as they had both spent much of their youth experiencing homelessness and destitution. The first Star House was back in the abandoned truck of Greenwich Village. Star House then moved to a dilapidated building, which they tried to fix up, but the group was evicted after 8 months. Throughout the 1970s, Johnson became a more visible and prominent member of the gay rights movement. She began performing with the drag group Hot Peaches. She attracted the attention of many, including the pop artist Andy Warhol, who included her in a series of prints in 1975 entitled Ladies and Gentlemen. In an interview Johnson did for a 1972 book, she said her ambition was to see gay people liberated and free and to have equal rights that other people have in America. She wanted to see her gay brothers and sisters out of jail and on the streets again. In another interview, she said, as long as gay people don't have their rights all across America, there's no reason for celebration. In 1980, she was invited to ride the lead car of the Gay Pride Parade in New York City. Despite her joyous personality and her ever-present smile, Johnson experienced hardship. She never let her personal setbacks stop her advocacy. In the 1970s, Johnson experienced a series of mental health breakdowns and spent time in and out of psychiatric hospitals. She also continued to engage in sex work, not knowing any other way to make money, and continued to get arrested. In 1990, Johnson was diagnosed with HIV. She spoke publicly about her diagnosis and how people should not be afraid of those with the disease in a June 26, 1992 interview. On July 6 of 1992, Johnson's body was found in the Hudson River. She was 46. Initially ruled a suicide, many friends questioned that conclusion as suspected foul play. At the time, 1992 was the worst year on record for anti-LGBTQ violence, according to the New York Anti-Violence Project. Police then reclassified the case as a drowning from undetermined cause, but the LGBTQ plus community was furious that the police refused to investigate further and that many press outlets did not cover her death. At her funeral, hundreds of people showed up at the church. It was so crowded that people stood on the street. In 2012, the New York Police Department reopened the case into Johnson's death. In 2019, the New York City announced that Marsha P. Johnson, along with Rivera, would be the subject of a monument commissioned to the public arts campaign, She Built NYC. The monument will be the first in NYC to honor transgender women. In 2020, New York State named a waterfront park in Brooklyn for Johnson. Johnson is also now the subject of many documentaries, and she remains one of the most recognized and admired LGBTQ plus advocates. So she is absolutely right, honey. Absolutely right. Happy Pride Month, BB. So if it wasn't for this lady, we wouldn't have any pussy pride, honey. So thank you so much, Marsha P. Johnson, really, and Rivera. Thank you both so much. But what this did not mention is how she threw that first brick. She was the one who threw that brick, honey. She said, "No, not today, not today."
What an awful way for her to pass, though. And she was so young. I didn't know she died like that.
Yep. All that thing. You see how you know how the the New York City police felt about her, honey. They say, "Oh, this bitch," and she. I was about to say something, but I need to remember we're on a recorded line. But y'all picking up what I'm putting down. Well, does anybody want to does anybody want to add anything to this Pride Post icon? Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Speaking of documentaries, my personal favorite that was made about her came out in 2012 called Pay It No Mind, Marsha P. Johnson. I believe it's on streaming or other services where videos are available. So I would highly encourage folks who want to learn more about her, or if you just enjoy documentaries in general, watch that because it's actually really good.
Will brought up a good quote. Where's the recording badge? It says start at the top, Auntie. Are we recording?
It should be.
Does it show it on your end?
Yeah, it does say start, but yeah, it was recording.
It's because it was there a minute ago and it played David Copperfield and that shit ain't there no more. So I'm not sure what happened, if we're even recording at this point. So I just want to bring that to the forefront because we don't want people to say something that they don't know they recorded that. So anyway,
thank you. Just to be on the safe side, it won't hurt to hit it again.
Okay. Now it changed.
Yep.
Okay.
Now it changed, and it is possible that this may be the beginning of Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea. So if it is, hello, welcome to Auntie Derek's Daytime Tea, where we discuss the latest celebrity tea in the news. I'm your host, Auntie Derek, and I have both Will and Chill with me. Hey, y'all.
Hey, again.
Now, long story short, so I will not be reading what I just read again. But long story short, what we just went over is that Beezus coined the term Pride Post, where we will honor LGBTQ people at the beginning of every show for the month of June for Pride Month. And then we went over Marsha P. Johnson today and her contributions. And then we learned that maybe it's a possibility that it wasn't recording any longer. So, but yeah, when we noticed that we were talking about this icon, so again, welcome. This is the beginning of the show. Yes.
Hit that link, baby. Hit that link. Read about icon for real.
And Will, you were bringing up you brought up a documentary, Pay It No Mind, that you highly recommend. I am actually looking it up to see where can it be watched.
Oh, okay.
I know of one area in particular. However, we want to make sure that these creators get credited in money and so forth. And so I know that the death and life of Martha P. Johnson is available or was available on Netflix. However, there was some controversy around that. So non-controversial, Pay It No Mind is a great documentary.
Thank you. Yeah. BB, you grabbed the mic. Will you have something you want to add about this icon?
No, just thank you for shouting her out. And I think this is what pride is really about. Knowing our historical figures that paved the way. And, we go to these events and we have fun, which is there's nothing inherently wrong with that. But we really should be thanking the people that paved the way for us to have these fun events that we have. So thank you for shouting Miss Marsha out. We appreciate you. You gay icon yourself. You LGBT queen. Okay.
You just made my day. Oh my God.
We fight, but we love you. It's all love. Thank you for this suggestion, Big Booty Will. We appreciate you. Thank y'all.
Well, not to take away from Big Booty Will, but Pride Post was actually coined by Beezus. So what we call him, Big Dingling Beezus. Oh, Did I say that on
Excuse
recording
me,
line?
excuse me, excuse me, excuse me.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, hey, Hammy. Well, does anybody want to add anything else about this icon before we get started with the tea? Well, let's go ahead and get started with the tea, honey.
Tea time.
Yes. So of course we're gonna start with the Diddy news, honey, the live updates with the trial. So y'all remember we thought that Mia was actually going to be done with her testimony as of Friday. Oh no, baby, she's on the stand today. So I just shared this link from CNN that gives us the live updates. And let's go to the catch-up section. Let's see what we have missed so far. So here's what we learned on Friday, just for a recap. And y'all, when I tell you it was a lot of information we went over, it was a lot. So this summarizes pretty much everything. Mia testified on Thursday that Combs physically and sexually assaulted her, humiliated her, and forced her to work grueling hours during her employment. On cross-examination Friday, defense attorney Brian Steele challenged her to explain why she still worked there from 2009 to 2017. In an abusive relationship, there's a cycle of violence, she said. I was young and manipulated and eager to survive. I'm unraveling a lot of this now in therapy. Nobody was there to say these things that were happening were wrong. There was nobody around us that even flinched at his behavior. Steele suggested three times that Mia made up her sexual assault allegations against Combs, but she stood firm. What I said in this courtroom is true. I have not lied to anyone at all, she said. Then the next update, the defense confronted Mia about 36 warm and friendly social media posts she made about Combs over the years following the alleged sexual assaults. She described to the jury on Thursday. Steele challenged how Mia could write kind words about someone who ruined her life. On the stand, Mia said social media was about showing how great your life is, even if it isn't true, and said promoting her life around Combs was part of the job. Let's see, next update. At the end of her direct testimony earlier on Friday, Mia testified about the end of her work relationship with Combs, her struggles with severe PTSD, and her inability to keep a job. She testified that she tried to run away from the job multiple times, but felt she would never be able to be hired again. And let's see, beginning 2 weeks after Cassie Ventura filed her lawsuit against Combs in November of 2023, Mia said she received several messages from Combs and his security guard asking for her to call Combs, but she declined, making excuses at times that she didn't have cell service. I just didn't want anything to do with him at all, she testified. He was a person I was traumatized by. Okay, so that was the last update from Friday. Does anybody want to add anything about, from what we all learned Friday before we start with the updates from today? All right, well, let's get with the updates from today, honey. Let's see what So it says, who is expected to testify after Mia? Enrique Santos. I don't know who that is. I can look that up later. Then it says Eddie Garcia, who worked in security at the Intercontinental Hotel. Garcia is expected to testify under immunity. Immunity, you say? Okay. And then they're bringing in a hotel custodian, and then Frank Piazza, a forensic video expert. So let's see. See the judges on the bench. Mia's back on the stand. Former hotel security invokes Fifth Amendment ahead of testimony for later today. Let's see. Okay, so the defense attorney asked Mia about her resume. Brian Steele is going through a resume Mia, a former assistant to Diddy, created before she began working for the music mogul. The resume says she provided round-the-clock support to Mike Myers when she was his assistant in 2008 and 2009. Steele pointed out that the resume said that she had thick skin. Mia said, I thought I did. Baby, she was certainly tested. Let's see, the next update says, Puff used to be my protector. That's what Mia says. The defense team is going through text messages between Diddy and Mia In 2018, Mia texted Combs during the Christmas and New Year holidays. Merry Christmas. Love you so much, Mia wrote in one text. She had just seen Combs at Kim Porter's funeral, Mia testified. Porter, who shared 3 children with Combs, died in November of 2018, as we know. A few weeks later, on January 15th of 2019, Mia texted Combs that she was thinking about him because she had a nightmare that she was trapped in the elevator with R. Kelly and Combs saved her, according to the message. Girl, what the fuck? Okay. In March of 2019, Mia texted Combs saying she was sending him all the love in the world. Brian Steele asked Mia if she was still under Combs' grip at that time, since she wasn't working for him anymore. She said that she still was psychologically. The next update, Mia says she filmed at him as part of her job. So Mia testified that Combs required her to carry around a pocket video camera to record him before he hired full-time videographers. Brian Steele asked Mia if she had any videos of Combs berating her or any of him in a moment of rage. Absolutely not, Mia testified. No, I wouldn't have been allowed to film that. I was filming whatever he wanted me to film. Filming Combs in a moment of rage would have been a huge break of trust, loyalty, and confidentiality, Mia said. The next update, it says Mia testifies that she didn't tell anyone about abuse from Combs at the time. Shit, why would she? She see what happened to people who do talk. Anyway, Brian Steele asked Mia if she told anyone about the abuse she said she endured from Combs while it was happening. Do you have anything where you contemporaneously, that word is going to kick my ass, wrote to a friend, family member, police officer, anybody, and said, this is what's going on? I'm being assaulted, berated, anything? Steele asked. No. The only time I reached out for help was to very subtly to people in the office, but not disclosing things that other people hadn't witnessed, Mia responded. No, I would never. Steele went on to ask Mia if the text messages shown today, including instances where she sent him holiday greetings and said, love you, demonstrate almost a loving relationship between Mia and Combs. I'm sending him support and love. Yes, Mia said. Ooh, child. Look, that's all words, baby. Especially those with more than one syllable. You know what, baby? You can kiss my ass during Pride Month. How about that? Oh. Let's see. The next update, nobody batted an eye when Combs misbehaved. And we can certainly believe that from all the stuff that we've seen and heard for ourselves. But anyway, Mia said that nobody around batted an eye when former boss Diddy misbehaved. He was still praised by everybody in his circle and in public, she testified. I was always constantly seeking his approval. He was my authority figure, my only authority figure, Mia said. Okay, the next update, Mia says his threats made me internalize blame and shame. Mia, former assistant to Diddy, said Diddy threatened to tell his girlfriend Cassie Ventura about what happened between himself and Mia, which made Mia internalize blame and shame. Oh, well. Mia has been testifying about the violence and abuse, verbal, physical, and sexual, she said she experienced while employed by Combs. Nobody acted like what was happening to me was wrong. And his threats about that he was going to tell Cassie about what happened made me internalize blame and shame, Mia testified. Brian Steele asked Mia why she didn't want Combs to tell Ventura that he had sexually assaulted her. Mia responded that Combs didn't use those words. He threatened to tell Cassie to quote unquote everything, which made me feel like I had done something wrong. I don't know how to explain what that does to a person, she testified. Girl, you really don't have to explain. I mean, what's known ain't got to be explained. Anyway, it says jury sees a video Mia made for Diddy for his 44th birthday. The jury saw a video Mia made for Diddy on his 44th birthday in 2013. Mia is sitting at a desk in the video and tells Combs she was blessed to call him a friend and thanks him for being one of the biggest inspirations in my life. I love you. Happy birthday, Mia said in the video, blowing a kiss. Judge Subramanian allowed the video clip to be shown over objections from prosecutors. Defense attorney Alexandra Shapiro said on Monday morning that the video supports the defense team's argument that Mia is presenting a false persona to the jury. Says jury, the court takes a short break. Let's see. Okay, looks like they were back. Judge warned defense attorney about the line of questioning. Prosecutor Maureen Comey accused defense attorney Brian Steele of harassing and humiliating Mia on the stand with yelling, sarcastic, and argumentative questioning. Comey also said the dozens of social media posts Steele has compelled Mia to discuss are cumulative and have nothing to do with her credibility. Judge Subramanian said he hasn't heard Steele yell or be sarcastic, but agreed that Steele has asked improper argumentative questions. The judge also said that he sustained objections to her to any improper questions and warned Steele to be mindful not to continue asking argumentative questions that might make it seem like he's doing it purposely just for the jury to hear, knowing the question will be struck away. The parties are now discussing more exhibits Steele wants to submit into evidence during Mia's cross-examination. Okay, Mia's back on the stand after the short break. Mia says he put tracking devices on Ventura's car. Bitch. I don't know why I'm shocked, but girl, I guess hearing it out loud. So Brian Steele asked Mia how Diddy would have found out about private messages between her and his ex-girlfriend, Cassie Ventura. He has stolen my phone many times. He has stolen Cassie's phone many times. He has put tracking devices on her car, Mia testified. I'm not sure what he's capable of. I was terrified, she said. What's the next update? Mia says she never told Cassie to leave Diddy in the way I wish I could have. The former assistant to Diddy said she was very close friends with Cassie throughout her employment, but she was not allowed to tell her the truth about a lot of things. Whatever story Puff told me, I had to uphold that, Mia said. One of the worst parts was being put in the middle, and having to cover up for Puff to Cass, which he forced me to do constantly, Mia said. Brian Steele asked Mia if she ever told Ventura that she should leave Combs. Not in the way I wish I could have, Mia responded. Mia testified that she never told Ventura she had to stay with Combs, but said, I remember covering for him when he forced me to and feeling terrible about it. However, if I did it, he would have taken me away from her. Okay, what's the next update? Mia says she didn't mention sexual assault allegations during mediation over her severance. So Mia testified that she never mentioned any sexual assault allegations against Diddy in the 2017 mediation over her severance with the Combs Company. Brian Steele asked her if she was aware of the hashtag #MeToo movement at the time of the mediation. Mia testified that she was not. Boy, that defense attorney, they getting their money. They get look. Hey, they doing what defense attorneys do. I reckon. So, next update. Mia sent him birthday texts days before Cassie's lawsuit was made public. I think we already pretty much went over that, so I don't have to reiterate that. Let me go to the next update. Mia says she doesn't remember when she told prosecutors about sexual assault allegations. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. And then the next update, she says, I was never outside of his grip. So Mia confirmed that she was able to spend some time with friends and family while she was working for Diddy, but she said those times were few and far in between. Brian Steele suggested that she had time where she was outside of Combs' grip and said, and with people she trusted. I was never outside of his grip, Mia said, adding that even when she was away from her job, she was still expected to be in constant communication 24/7. Steele asked why didn't she tell any of her loved ones about the allegations when she saw them during that period. It's way more complex than that, Mia responded. The next update, Mia denies Combs was violent with Cassie on rare occasions. So Brian Steele asked if Diddy was only violent with his former girlfriend Cassie on quote unquote rare occasions. The opposite, Mia replied. Steele also asked the former assistant if Combs was generally a pleasant person to be around. Mia said one of his personalities was pleasant and added, the rest of them, no. She read his ass. She said, look, one of his personalities was pleasant, but the rest of them, no. All right, the jury is dismissed for lunch is the next update. The jury's taking the lunch break, and let's see what else is the latest up. So just about 20 minutes ago, it says defense resumed cross-examination of Mia as jury returns after lunch break. She, yeah, it just says she's back. So that was the latest update, back from lunch. So again, I know that was a lot. It was not as much as Friday, but it still was a lot. And does one of his person, hey Moon, hey Benji. So does anyone else want to add anything to what I just read, child? Because that was an awful lot.
To be totally honest, I am getting diddy fatigue.
No, that's right.
This trial is going to be so long. I feel sorry for the jurors, really.
Yeah. And you know you don't get paid that much money on jury duty, honey. What you get, like, what I got, $50 for the, no. It was like 100 and, you get paid daily. And then I just remember like getting like a close to a $300 check. So
yeah,
I'm glad I'm not on this jury. Same here.
which is probably equal to some people's salaries, but not not others. Just depends on what it is you do. The thing about, and then lots of jobs have jury duty pay, for the time
Mm-hmm.
you take off and so forth. But they don't have 5 weeks worth. At my job, you got 3 days. So I guess if you had to stay past that point, you had to use your own, PTO. And if you didn't have that, well, shame on you.
That's crazy. You better throw them tomatoes. Well, that is crazy. And we got the comments. I think it's different on this level. And Visa says plus mileage, and they only get 2 weeks there over on the West End.
Well, that's good. I mean, Cali's doing good. Texas, not so much. Not so much. 3 days, and yeah, that's all you get in addition to your PTO. And I'm thinking you got to go to jury duty. How come they're not forced to cover that?
That's the power of capitalism, baby. Let me stop.
And I mean, it should be federal. It shouldn't be different state by state. If Beezus gets 2 weeks, every state should get 2 weeks. It's just not fair how they let different states mess over people. In some places, I've even heard jury duty is not just one day. You got to show up several days. So if you don't get picked, that's like, oh, don't get happy yet, because you got to come back.
That's crazy.
Isn't it? Go ahead, Brian. Hey.
Hey, boo. Yeah, I had someone who got selected for jury duty on my team, and she was like, "What do I do?" I was like, "Girl, you go to jury duty. We still pay you, and you keep whatever they give you, which in Georgia, I think in our county was $5 to $50 a day." And I was like, "You keep that, and we still pay you up to. I think we pay them. Our company pays them up to 2 weeks. So
Oh,
it's it's weird. It's crazy." But she was so upset. I'm like, "Girl, well, you ain't working, so you getting paid from us,
I'm
and you
pissed
get your little
off.
$50 check. You'll be all right going in there and find them people guilty."
Yeah, most trials don't take 2 weeks, but I'm getting pissed. Y'all got 2 weeks there too? Oh hell no, Texas.
Well, you in the great state of Texas, baby, and I use great loosely.
Well, that may have just been an employer mandated pay. Not all employers follow the same policy, but for the hospital, it was 3 freaking days, and I just think that's ridiculous.
It is. You can't do nothing in 3 days, honey. You can't do nothing with that little 3 day pay. Mm-mm.
Well, I mean, the couple of trials I have served on took one a couple of days at the most. So most trials really aren't that long. But if I had to take a single PTO day, if it had been like 5 days, they're not all 5 weeks, but some of them go past 3 days. I just don't. Mm-mm.
Damn. Say now the chat says Benji's having to take PTO is so crazy for jury duty, so not fair. And then I think they don't. I don't think they do 2 weeks pay here. Wow.
And then some jobs make you take your PTO if you got it. Like if you take off and you have it in your bank, you can't say, "Oh, I don't want to use it for PTO." Like if you don't really need to, but most people do get paid, but you can't even like refuse it. You got to drop it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyhow,
But you know who needs to take some freaking PTO? That damn Bill Maher. We could use some time off from him.
yeah, he's problematic. I get sick of seeing his name.
Child, so I just shared this link from Vibe. You see where it says Bill Maher talks Cassie's enthusiastic consent to freak offs, staying with Diddy for a career. Girl. I just have to say, a white man never misses an opportunity to show his ass, honey. Anyway, BMR is receiving both cheers and jeers from viewers of his Real Time with BMR show from Friday, May 30th. That episode from the HBO Max series found him calling out the singer Cassie Ventura for her enthusiastic consent to Diddy's freak off via text messages that were read aloud during his current sex trafficking trial. Mara also stressed his belief that it is easier for women to leave abusive men in a post Me Too society. Boy, oh my God. We need to keep two thoughts in our heads at the same time, Mara, who's 69, began. One, Diddy is a bad dude, really bad, like the worst thing in rap since Hammer Pants. A violent, sick fuck. I'm sorry, an alleged violent, sick fuck, and we should lock him up and throw away the baby oil. He continued, and two, things have changed enough that moving forward, the rule should be if you're being abused, you've got to leave right away. If Diddy walks free, it will be because his lawyers can point to an endless stream of texts from Cassie expressing what's often called enthusiastic consent to their sex life. During her May 15th testimony, Cassie read aloud text she shared with Diddy saying, I'm always ready to freak off, and I just want it to be uncontrollable. Mara joked that if you're me tooing someone, it's not helpful to your case if you text him me too. You know what? I honestly don't want to read any more of this because I think it's disgusting. But I just really find it hard to believe that somebody who was in a relationship with what I don't want to call Superhead because I don't think she uses that name anymore. Corinne Stephens. She they had a relationship, and you know how her past with being abused and being sexually assaulted and all of that. So his stance on this is just really crazy to me. But whatever. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
It's people like him are the reason why we are in the mess we are in this country. It's the demographic, it's the mindset, it's all of that. And I just really wish people, especially men in particular, just come out and say, you know what, I hate women. Just say the words. I think it will be very therapeutic for them to just say it out loud, as opposed to dancing around the actual issue, because that's what it really boils down to. It's like hearing this from someone of his particular background is not surprising to me, and but it's still triggering at the same time. You know, just people are just willfully ignorant and just dense as fuck. It's
I
exhausting.
agree. I agree. And just like Chill said, baby, I am exhausted. Woo, child. Well, that's that on his that's exactly why he's not aging well. Anyway, does anybody want to add anything on that crackle before we go to the next story?
Absolutely not.
Well, speaking of salty crackles, Patty LaPone. So she issued an apology over the weekend, honey, after the Broadway community got in her ass, honey. I mean, they got in her ass, and they pretty much said it had 500 signatures. It's pretty much said in a nutshell, girl, that interview was done in poor taste. It was trashy. You know better. Get your shit together. So I just shared a link from People, and sorry to those who are looking at the video recording. You only see because for some reason people only share as a black screen. You know what? So because of that, let me be nice. Let me just share my screen when I'm reading the article, and I won't read the whole article. I'm just gonna pretty much read Patty's what she says in her apology that everybody pretty much thinks is bullshit. So she says, "For as long as I have worked in theater, I have spoken my mind and never apologized. That is changing today." Lapone began her statement. "I am deeply sorry for the words I used during the New Yorker interview, particularly about Keisha Lewis, which were demeaning and disrespectful. I regret my flippant and emotional response during this interview, which were inappropriate. And I am devastated that my behavior has offended others and has run counter to what we hold dear in this community," she continued. "I hope to have a chance to speak to Audra and Keisha personally to offer my sincere apologies. I wholeheartedly agree with everything that was written in the open letter shared yesterday. From middle school drama clubs to professional stages, theater has always been about uplifting each other and welcoming those who feel that they don't belong anywhere else," she concluded. "I made a mistake. I take full responsibility for it, and I'm committed to making this right. Our entire theater community deserves better." And then, of course, she signed her name. So
Oh,
that's.
oh,
So we have a boo from Chile, and we have a comment, "Girl, fuck you." So, and that's pretty much that's what the pretty much the whole sentiment was. They was like, "Girl, bye, bye. You can take your apology and you can shove it." So go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I definitely think there's a bigger issue here at play. The reason why she was so comfortable saying the things that she did is because she felt protected within that Broadway community by the powers that be who are positioning themselves as quote unquote allies of certain demographics of people. But she's still running around being able to say whatever she wants to say because she's a white woman. You know, I think that Patty LuPone is actually going to be the tip of the iceberg when it comes to these types of things because you're going to have to address things at the root. I feel the same way about Tootsie Roll as well. Like Tootsie Roll right now, he's got like worldwide attention. He's done the most atrocious things. However, there's a root to it. I don't think that really need to address the root in order to eradicate the weed, essentially. And so I really hope that this is the start of some actual major change or actually calling people out or people feel comfortable about doing so because this is not an isolated occurrence. And it's not dawned on me that folks who are in positions of power within that Broadway community are of a similar of a of a certain demographic that's not lost on me or anybody else, you know. So but I, even though this is a recorded line, I just still want to stand 10 toes down and say, Patty LaBone, fuck you and your racist bullshit. Thank you.
I know that's right. So we have a comment, big booty and philosophical. Yeah, and then they've been giving her a pass way too long, way too long. So
yeah,
yeah,
she's the complete package, honey. Smart and cute.
yes. Well, does anybody want to add anything about that salty cracker or Will's big booty before we go to the next story?
She can suck it.
Go. Yeah, no, that's right. Oh, fuck her. She could suck it. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Now, wait a minute. Leave my booty out of this. Anyway, I was just going to say it is like a palate cleanse of sorts. I'm not sure if we're going to talk about this in the show, Auntie, so excuse me if I'm going ahead too far. But kudos to Audra McDonald for handling the situation with such poise and class, even though
Yes.
black people and black women in general shouldn't have to do that. They should be able to go the fuck off when they are tried. However, Audra respecting that position that she's in and the talent that she has, she was able to address it in an interview recently with so much poise. It's like, I don't know what her issue is. I haven't seen her in 11 years. Like, clear her, please. So shout out to her.
Well, Audra can back it up. I mean, she's got the awards and the attention, and what does she have to prove to Patty freaking LuPone? Nothing.
Not a
She
thing.
gave her dust. I love it.
Go ahead, BB.
The problem that they have is we are stepping out of places where we have historically been barred or not been given, the top accolades, right? and we're stepping out and we're owning it. So that's a threat to them, or they perceive it as a threat. So she really thought she was gonna make those comments, and they were just gonna be, "Oh well, it's Patty LuPone. She's a legend." No, you're a piece of shit.
A legend.
That's what you know. That's what they call
Some
them
people
now.
do consider her one.
Mm,
People consider her a legend. Now, I'm not agreeing to that because
I
she's
did.
nothing to me. But they're really upset that we are occupying these spaces and we're getting awarded for it. Like people are saying our talent cannot be denied, and it's a threat to them because you really see that they've been getting away with mediocrity for so long, and enough is enough. So I'm glad Audra and Keisha didn't stoop to her level, but I also wish that they probably should have. But we know how that would have been perceived, and that's a different conversation. But kudos to Audra and Keisha.
Kudos to them. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
And one last thing, I don't want to harp on this too long, but you bring up a very interesting point, BB, because I was having this conversation with someone fairly recently, and we were somehow just kept in conversation, but it's systemic, thinking all the way back to like our ancestors being enslaved, coming into this country. Those demographics of people and their ancestors specifically wanted to breed a certain type of human to essentially work in their fields. They want to breed the best type of human. So they didn't realize, like, even after that is done, those people that are they intentionally bred are going to have offspring, and those genetics go on. So what do you expect when the offsprings of the folks that you intentionally bred for one thing excel in everything else, and all now they're mad? That's what stupidity gets you. It's dumb.
Yes, indeed. And Benji said his people confused her with Patty LaBelle from me. Yeah, it was actually a few people that did that, BB, believe it or not. I saw too, like, what Patty LaBelle do? Why is Archie McDonald mad at her? So, well, does anybody want to add anything else? Because we're actually about to talk about someone who my favorite Taurus does not really care for, Mary J. Blige. So remember when we talked about Misa Hilton suing her for $5 million? So reports have confirmed that Mary is actually she's preparing for this lawsuit. Mary said, "I ain't no hoe now." I'm not. I'm going to take a nap. So I just shared this link from All Hip Hop, and you see where it says they report exclusively Mary J. Blige preparing reply to Misa Hilton's bombshell lawsuit. So, Mary J. Blige has officially been served in a $5 million lawsuit filed by longtime friend and stylist Misa Hilton, who accuses the Grammy winning singer of interfering with her business relationship with rapper Vado. Mary J. Blige confirmed she received and was served the lawsuit on Friday, May 30th, making it the official start of what could be a lengthy battle. While both sides have agreed on how to proceed in court, Blige and her legal team have not waived any defenses. The court has given her until July 18th of this year to respond. All Hip Hop broke the news. A legal standoff stems from claims that Blige, through her company Beautiful Life Productions, pressured Votto to cut ties with Hilton's agency MISA Management, which had a contract entitling them to a 20% of the rapper's earnings. According to the lawsuit, Mary J. Blige allegedly blocked Votto's album release, limiting his touring opportunities, and held private meetings with him to persuade him to exit the deal. Hilton also claimed Blige's head of security, who reportedly is her boyfriend, attempted to take over management duties for Votto and warned the rapper that he would miss out on career opportunities if he stayed with MISA. The lawsuit filed earlier this year accuses Blige of intentional interference with contractual relations, emotional distress, and breach of business agreements. Hilton's legal team states that she attempted to resolve the matter privately, but received no response from Blige for months. These women are closer than biological sisters. Misa did everything to keep this private, calls, texts, even letters to Mary's legal team. But after months of silence and missed obligations, we had no choice but to file. This lawsuit wasn't plan A, it was plan Z. Hilton's lawyer, Nicholas Ramcharatar, told All Hip Hop. The lawsuit has fractured a decades-long friendship between the two women, both influential figures in hip hop and fashion. Hilton's team claimed that Votto has been unable to release music or earn income due to the alleged interference. Ooh, child. They said terrible voice and character. Not too much on her. Leave her alone. But yeah, that's sad. And Mary, if that is true, you know, you did that to a friend, you trying to do backdooring and secret deals and shit to people. That's mm-mm. And then the fact that his Misa lawyer came out and said, yeah, we tried to resolve it. We wanted to do this privately. We're closer than biological sisters. That's my girl. We wanted to resolve it, but Mary just kept ignoring me. She done even ghosted a bitch at one point. So what am I supposed to do? This wasn't plan A. This was plan Z. So, comment. I'm sad about this. Me too, girl. This is really sad, but you can't be playing with people's money. Can't be playing people money. Does it really look? Because a lot of people kind of reducing this all down to a man. People saying, "Oh, because it was rumored that Mary J and Votto was messing around and stuff." So I don't. All I got to say is look at them Pisces men, honey. That's all I got to say. If you need any more proof about the unnecessary chaos that they push you through, there you have it. Does anybody want to add anything about this really sad story before we go to the next one? Child, dick is not that good. Now wait a minute now. Now there have been some times where you know what, never mind. This is not about me.
Very few of them, for sure.
Well, his might be on point. His might be because clearly his is making them file a $5 million lawsuit allegedly. Go ahead, BB.
Have some decorum, ma'am. Okay? Have some decorum. That's all I got to say.
Do they sell it at Target? Oh, we boycott Target. Never mind.
Look, see how quickly your morals just go out the window? You ain't about nothing, okay?
And we have one comment that says, take all her money, Misa. All right now. Take all that money, girl. Well, speaking of somebody who don't want all their money taken, remember that toy company who lost that $71 million battle against T.I. and Tiny over those the OMG dolls?
Child, they still going.
They are still going at it, honey. And I just shared this link from All Hip Hop. You see where it says T.I. $71 million judgment in jeopardy. Doll company wants another fight. Child.
I would too.
Sore losers.
$71 million is a lot of money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But you also wouldn't copyright, infringe on anybody. So that's
yeah, but I see why they're still fighting it. See,
Yeah.
That's a lot of money.
Yeah, it is indeed. And it says T.I. is facing a fresh legal hurdle as toy giant MGA Entertainment moves to overturn a $71 million judgment awarded to him and his wife Tiny. All Hip Hop has confirmed that MGA is demanding a fourth trial in the years-long battle over doll designs allegedly lifted from the girl group OMG Girls. MGA filed a formal appeal challenging the April 29th jury verdict that found the company's LOL Surprise OMG doll infringe on the group's trade dress and likeness. The company is asking the court to either overturn the entire ruling or significantly reduce the damages. MGA's legal team believes the verdict was legally flawed. If that fails, they've requested a new trial or an order to slash the payment, or the payout rather, excuse me. The company claims the OMG Girls never had enforceable rights to the look T.I. Tiny say was copied. According to MGA, the look was not widely recognized by the public as being associated with the OMG Girls, and even if it once had recognition, the group allegedly abandoned that look years ago. The company also argues that there is no concrete evidence of consumer confusion between the dolls and the group. MGA further contends that T.I. and Tiny failed to prove actual harm or misappropriation of their trade secrets. They also say the First Amendment protects their creative expression in designing the dolls. The original lawsuit accused MGA of copying the OMG girls' name, style, and image, including their hairstyle and outfits, for at least 7 dolls without permission. The legal battle has spanned 4 years and 3 trials. The first ended in a mistrial after a dispute over jury instructions involving cultural appropriation. The second resulted in a win for MGA, but a retrial was granted due to legal errors and a Supreme Court ruling that impacted the case's standards. And in September 2024, a third trial ended with a unanimous jury siding with T.I. and Tiny. The jury found that 13 dolls infringed on the group's image and that 2 more infringed on their likeness. The court awarded $71 million in total damages, $17.9 million in actual damages, and $53.6 million in punitive damages. MGA argues the punitive portion is excessive and unjustified, claiming the company did not act with malice or fraud. The judge has not yet ruled on MGA's latest motions. So, So look, I'm with like Will said, take all her money, Lisa. I'm like, take all their money, T.I. and Tiny. I think they did play in their face. I'm sorry. And they're gonna try to say, oh well, if the girls these girls weren't popular for this look, and if they were popular for this look, then they abandoned this look years ago, and they weren't recognized for this. Oh, girl. Anyway, go ahead, Chili.
I'll take back my statement because 4 years, 3 trials. How much money do you think they've spent to even litigate this? Probably at least half of this. I mean, companies like this have very expensive lawyers. So they won once, T.I. and Tiny won once, and then they had a mistrial. So, yeah, they're going to litigate these people for a long time. So, yeah, get all that money.
Get all that motherfucking money, honey. Well, does anybody want to add anything else about them before we go to the next story? Baby, so remember we talked about Trump pardoning NBA YoungBoy, and remember how I was like, okay, because I don't know, some people deserve jail time. Like this man has literally scammed people, and I like there's no proof that he won't do it again, basically. So anyway, it's the people of Utah, honey, feel the exact same. So I just shared this link from another link from All Hip Hop. You see where it says NBA YoungBoy pardoned by President Trump leaves Utah pharmacists in fear. In fear, bitch. So NBA YoungBoy walked free after President Trump pardoned the rapper for his role in a Utah drug fraud ring, and now a local pharmacist whose store was hit in the scheme says he's bracing for more trouble. Phil Calley, a pharmacist in Cache Valley, Utah, says he's still recovering from the financial damage caused by the break-ins tied to the rapper's crew, and is worried history could repeat itself. As soon as they caught him, everything stopped, Cowley told East Idaho News. And so now, is he going to do it again? Calley's pharmacy was one of several targeted in a prescription drug fraud operation that led to losses ranging from $15,000 to $30,000 per store. The windows I had to replace took my whole month's worth of earnings from me, Cowley said. The man behind the crimes, Kentrell Gaulden, better known as NBA YoungBoy, had pled guilty to 46 counts of prescription fraud and was serving a 23-month sentence for federal gun charges when former President Donald Trump granted him clemency on Tuesday, May 28th. Okay, quick question. Why do these articles call him former President Trump? What do they know something that we don't know? Anyway, let's see. President Trump's decision was part of a broader wave of pardons aimed at what the White House called a politicized and weaponized justice system, according to reports. Local prosecutors in Utah pushed back, defending their investigation and the charges against Gaulden. Cache County officials said they stood by the integrity of their case and the professionalism of their law enforcement agencies. We are extremely proud of the work our investigator and prosecutors did on this case, as well as grateful for all the help we received from other local and federal agencies, said Sheriff D. Chad Jensen and Cache County Attorney Taylor Sorensen said in a joint statement. Mr. Galden pled guilty to the charges in this investigation, and we feel strongly the justice system in Cache County is far from a weaponized system of justice. Cowley, however, said the pardon sends the wrong message. My very first gut reaction to hearing that pardon was what a terrible lesson to teach your boys, he said. Galden, who had already paid a $25,000 fine in connection with the fraud case, thanked President Trump in an Instagram post saying the pardon would help him continue growing as a man, father, and an artist. Girl, yeah, that I think they have every right to be concerned, and he's right that this pardon sends the wrong message to young boys. Like, this wasn't like you just standing on a corner selling weed and stuff. You sat there, you robbed stores, caused them $15,000 to $30,000 worth of damages from each store to participate in the drug. And oh, child, I can't. Go ahead, favorite tourist.
What's even shocking to me is these people not paying attention all along. He really don't give a fuck about Utah. He don't give a fuck about people in general, and people are all of a sudden shocked that he would make such decisions about people. Oh my God. It truly tells you that people weren't paying attention. They just really didn't want a black woman in office. But I'll leave that alone. But I mean, hey, you fuck around and you find out. This is what y'all wanted, so enjoy.
Enjoy, honey. We got a comment. You cooking today? Go ahead, baby.
We'll say that again. They are expecting moral decency from trash. We know who he is. We knew that when he got elected, the type of things that he would do. So I just don't understand why people are holding him to these high expectations when he showed you who he was the first time he was in office. What's changed? The only thing that changed was there was an opportunity for a black, two monumental things to happen: a woman to become president and a black woman to become president. That wasn't going to happen. Right? They were already upset that she was vice president. She was the first person to hold that seat that wasn't an ashy white man.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they couldn't get Hillary in, Kamala being in was going to be a problem. So they wanted this man, whatever you want to call him, to make these decisions that we're going to be like, oh yeah, that's a good one. We know what kind of message he's sending, and he's sending it loud and clear. So I just don't understand all the oh my gosh, oh my gosh, like get over it. Let's be for real for 1 second. Like let's stop expecting things from people when we know who they are. He's very transparent about who he is. So let's stop with the fake outrage, please.
Y'all better work, honey. Go ahead, favorite tourist.
Well, I definitely agree with BB. I would like to add on to that. That we also have to consider as well that certain demographics of people have been able to just navigate this country unscathed, not giving a fuck about nothing and anyone, whereas other folks have had to use additional mental capacity and empathy and instinct to stay alive. And now those people who haven't had to do that are now finding out what that's like, you know. And so whenever that happens, this is what we kind of encounter. So I love it for him. I want more of it, actually.
Mm-hmm. Well, you all have made some very, very valid points. And does anybody want to add anything about this bullshit before we go to the next story? Which is even more bullshit. Well, our next bullshit story, honey. Bow Wow said he is single again, honey. He is outside, girl. So I just shared this link from Vibe. Y'all see where it says Bow Wow sparks Jade Pinkett breakup rumors with back outside post from Las Vegas. So Shad Bow Wow Moss has given fans reason to believe his romance with Jade Pinkett has come to an end, as the rapper took to Instagram this weekend, letting the ladies know he's back outside. The Ohio artist, who's 38, shared a photo Sunday. They put Sunday, June 2nd, but I'm sure they meant June 1st, to the social media platform of him hanging out in what appears to be a Lux Las Vegas suite with several friends, including one woman who hugs Bow Wow from behind, places her hand on his chest as he snaps a photo via the ceiling mirror. And y'all know what the ceiling mirror is only you. When you take a picture of yourself with a ceiling mirror, you know it is only used for one reason. Anyway, look, not go back in. Matter of fact, let me just go ahead and show y'all the post. Let me share my screen real quick. So this was the Instagram post here with the ceiling mirror, looking like they're about to have an orgy. This looks like the beginning of on one of them not macho fucker, but shit, I can't think of it right there. But y'all know what the hell I'm trying to say. And you see the caption, I barely post, but this Vegas trip, I'm on BS. Ladies, I'm back outside.
We letting you know what's up, what you can get.
All right, I want y'all to keep in mind what I told y'all about Pisces mean.
Oh, he's a Pisces? Okay.
And is and is a true one, honey. Well, that's that on that. Really no story there. Does anybody want to add? Oh, and she for what I learned it because I didn't know that she I guess I should have known by the name, but she is actually Jada Pinkett Smith's niece.
Oh, okay, I was wondering the connection.
So, well, that's that on that, child. Child, the next story, Robin Thicke done got married over the weekend. Child, honey, if you know what I know about him as a husband, But anyway, congrats to the happy couple, I guess. I just shared this link from Vibe. You see where it says Robin Thicke, April Love Geary get married in intimate beachside wedding, honey. So Robin Thicke and longtime partner April Love Geary officially tied the knot this past weekend in an intimate island ceremony at the luxurious Los Ventanas resort in Cabo, Mexico. The romantic beachside wedding brought together close family, friends, and A-list guests, including Usher, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Dr. Ken Jeong. According to People, the couple's 3 children, Mia, Lola, and Luca, were all in attendance, with little Luca still in hearts as the ring bearer. Carrying a box labeled Ring Security, he added a playful yet touching touch to the heartfelt affair. While the couple's blended family was largely present, it remains unclear whether Thicke's eldest son, Julian, who's 15 from his previous marriage to Paula Patton, was also there to witness the nuptials. In a touching moment, Thicke walked down the aisle to Leonard Cohen's timeless ballad, Hallelujah, setting the emotional tone for the day. A chair was opened in honor for his late father, actor Alan Thicke, marked with a sentimental banner that read, "In loving memory of Alan Thicke, father of the groom, we remember. Although you cannot be here with us today, your love and light remain in our hearts." So, yeah, that's it. Congratulations on them, honey. Now, if you want to know how Robin is as a husband, go on back and listen to his own album. Let him tell in his own words with that album. Paula, have y'all had a chance to ever listen to that album? Baby, he was a low down, dirty dog, honey.
I never listened to it. I knew about it.
And the crazy thing, Chill, it was actually a really good album. It had some good songs. Now, I know how some of us feel about blue-eyed R&B music, and I totally get it. But if you are interested, I would certainly recommend Paula because, he was a motherfucker. Especially that song, what was it called? Black Tar Cloud. And then what gags me is that Paula Patton had a nerve to sing background vocals on the album. Just messing all around, honey. But yeah, congrats, I guess. I'm actually surprised that she's white. Cause he like him a little color, honey. He like Robert De Niro. They like a little color. Yeah. That's that on that. Does anybody want to add anything? All right. Well, speaking of a little color, Cardi B, child, it looks like she kind of made it a Instagram official with Stefan Diggs. So I just shared this link from Vibe that summarizes everything. And if that, instead of me reading, I can go ahead and just share my screen and we can look at the photos together, honey. And shit, y'all probably done seen some on your timelines already. So look at that. Look at that, honey. Look at that, honey.
Is Instagram sort of like a marker in a celebrity relationship? Like if you get posted on Instagram, you go together. Is that a thing?
Hell yeah.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
ooh, excuse me, honey.
Hell yeah. In fact, honey, when I post anybody, even my mama, I have to make sure it's clear. This is my mother and tag her, Sophia Austin, because no, we're not having no. If you put somebody else on your Instagram, chances are y'all go together. This is not like Facebook where you're out with friends, honey. Instagram makes it official.
Okay then.
And that's according to that's what I learned from Gen Z and TikTok. So they keep Auntie updated. But yeah, she looks great here. She looks great. These pictures here. What is this? I didn't watch this video.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Ooh,
Boy.
nice. Who gonna clean up all them flowers? This is nice. And what's this?
That's the same thing I thought when I saw all those flowers. I'm like, who is cleaning up all this mess?
Okay. Oh, honey, look at that Birkin, honey. And I think that's a Croc Kelly, honey. So that bag is probably an estimated $20,000. Nice bag. Hey, if y'all can donate, send me. If all of you could just send $2 to the dollar symbol. Derek is normal. If all of you could just send me $2, I can with your help, I can get the Birkin bag that I've always wanted.
Did
So-
my sound go out? I don't hear anything.
Y'all some haters. Y'all just don't want me to be happy. Well, yeah, that's it on there, honey. They made it Instagram official, and Offset was kind of mad at it. And let me see, because this article actually mentions stuff about that as well. What it says all of this comes while the Bronx star is going through divorce proceedings from Migos rapper Offset, with whom she shares 3 children. Recently, Cardi B took to Twitter Spaces after Offset asked for spousal support, which we talked about, where she not only accused him of being an absent father at times, she also wished death on his ass. Matter of fact, we can go ahead and hear that, child. It's before we play it. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
First, you're asking for $75 for a LeBron James doll. Now you're asking for a Birkin. When does it end, Auntie?
It'll end when I get my LeBron James doll in my Birkin.
Oh.
Yes, honey. So let me see. Go ahead. So this was Cardi responding to him asking for that spousal support and said that she was pretty much like an absentee mother, some shit he done said.
Listen up, y'all listening? Listen up. The fact that I'm waking up right now, right? The fact that I'm waking up right now to see that this fuck nigga and his fuck ass team, I know it's not his team. I know it's his bitch ass. Gonna tell the Breakfast Club the only reason why this motherfucker asking for spousal support, because I was asking for everything. Because I was asking for everything. And because I don't be with my kids. Yo, you such a fucking pussy ass nigga. Word to my mother. I want you to die, but I want you to die fucking slow, nigga. When you die, nigga, I want you to die slow in the bed. And while you die, nigga, you gotta think of me. Let me tell y'all something, right? When I first filed for fucking child support, my lawyer filed for child support. I mean, when I first filed for divorce, my lawyer filed for shit. And this nigga started spazzing, right? So I told my lawyer, there's a renew, what's that shit called? There's a renew divorce paper, right? And in the renewed divorce paper, um, I asked for no child support. I didn't ask for no child support because I want to be done with this marriage. Like, I feel like I'm tied up. I asked for no child support. Kiari is allowed to see my kids. There is not one day that he's not allowed to see my kids. Okay? He stood up my kids 3 times. He have seen Blossom only like 5 times. Okay? And I've been trying to save your face. But for you, stop playing saying that I don't be seeing my fucking kids. Stop playing because you don't want to look like a less of a bitch ass nigga. You all right. If I keep you away from the kids, right? All right. You talk to the kids almost every single day. You call the kids every single day. I allow you to talk to the kids every single day. If I allow you to talk to the kids, why would I not allow you not to see the kids? It was a point that he was making a big deal, like, oh, I'm not gonna go to New York to see the kids because I'm not gonna be seeing my kids in a hotel room. All right. I was like, all right, so you could see him in my mom's house. You still made it a big deal. And I love my daughter so much. Yo, if I'm lying, my kids could die if I'm lying. I said, you know what? To make it easier for you, you could see the kids in my house. Just because I want my daughter to feel the love of her dad. Because I want my kids to have that love of their dad. I want the love of both parents, even if we're not together. Also, the last time we seen the kids was in March on Cody's birthday. Okay? So before you start talking to me about I don't see my kids, let's talk about it. You haven't seen the kids since March. Okay? You say it was gonna.
All right, and the audio ends there. So yeah, that was a lot that she had to say in that 3.5 minute clip, child. So whew, go ahead, favorite Taurus.
So first things first, my head hurts now. Thank you. Um, and the thing is, all of this, like, this is a person that you chose, man. I guess this is like a reoccurring thing with celebrities leaving us in the group chat that we don't want to be in. It's like essentially you are highlighting the type of person that you chose to be with. So it's ultimately a reflection on you as well, independent of how terrible that your ex was to you. That was your doing, your choosing to continuously go back and have children with this toxic ass person. So what does it say about you, Cardi? Yeah, we know Offset is terrible, but at a certain point, you kind of have to look in the mirror. It's like, you know what, that was me.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. But she ain't trying to hear none of that right now. She'll probably say it down the line, like maybe in her 50s when she write her tell-all book. Then that's what she'll. Go ahead, Chili.
I think she's learning a hard lesson that many women have learned. I think he kind of love bombed her at first with all the coming on stage and apologizing. Remember, they had kind
Oh,
of broken
absolutely.
up, and she married him, and now she's stuck with the menace that he really is. And so many women get into this category. Look at um, Kanye, Kim. I mean, it's repeated over and over. So I feel bad for the children. I really do. I understand she didn't want
Yep.
them coming to her home and to see the children elsewhere. I get it, but this is your baby's father. So you're gonna have to kind of suck it up and get along for the sake of your children.
Okay, Chili, you better add a little New York flavor. So this is your baby father. This your baby father. So you
I've been around you too long.
okay? You see now you just proved my point, honey. I'm telling you, that New York accent is infectious. Because I'm saying as strong as my Durham accent is, I still actually lost a little bit of it after living in Brooklyn for so long. So yes, I know that's hard to believe.
It's just sad that we have to watch it. I feel sorry for celebrities in this, but I take that back because she doesn't have to be on here doing all this. She chooses to post these videos, so it's not like we have to hear it. And I think they overshare, to be honest. I personally just would not be even responding. You see me in court, talk to my lawyers, but I'm not gonna. And she has spaces and everything and ranting, and that's just not me. But hey, everybody can't be like me, right?
Not you, and it shouldn't be any of us either, girl. And when I tell you, I know her PR team is so sick of her. I know because every time something happens, she takes her asses on them Twitter Spaces.
Yeah,
Every time,
every
every
single.
time. Ooh, child.
So
Well,
maybe
does
that's
anybody?
just a personality, you know. Can't change people.
Right. And then we have a comment that will make sure you request your pain and suffering from Auntie Cash App, just like I did. Y'all go to hell.
What's your cash app? I'll find it.
It's $ Derek is normal. I repeat, $
Thank you, Will.
Derek is normal. Thank
Thank
you.
you, Will.
Don't send requests. We don't take requests. We only take payments.
The rest of the day off, then Visa. So that's nice.
I know that's right. Well, does anybody want to add? Well, I think we all want to be taken out of the group chat. So I got 3
We
more
do.
stories left.
We do. We do, Carl. Take us out, baby. Take us out.
Well, honey, let me show y'all about a group chat that y'all might want to get in, honey. When I tell you this story is messy. So, Rock Nation CEO, her name is Desiree Perez. Her daughter is actually accusing her of using her power to get her committed to a mental ward. So I just shared this link from All Hip Hop, and y'all see where it says Rock Nation CEO Desiree Perez's daughter claims mom wrongfully committed her to mental ward. So Damori Hadley accused her mother, Desiree Perez, of orchestrating a forced psychiatric commitment in South Florida to allegedly sabotage her marriage and isolate her from her husband. In a lawsuit filed in May and obtained by NBC Miami, Hadley claims Perez, CEO of Rock Nation and longtime business partner of Jay-Z, leveraged her influence and connections to manipulate the mental health system and law enforcement to detain her without cause. The complaint filed in Miami-Dade County accuses Desiree Perez and others of false imprisonment, civil conspiracy, and harassment by using the Baker Act and Marchman Act to have her committed to the facility against her will. According to Hadley's attorney, Hilton Napoleon II, well, that's a name for you. Hilton Napoleon II, the situation escalated after a family dispute in Dania Beach in early 2024. Broward Sheriff's Office deputies and a mobile crisis unit responded to a call and detained Hadley under Florida's Baker Act, which allows for involuntary psychiatric involuntary psychiatric evaluations if a person is deemed a danger to themselves or others. The decision to commit Hadley was based on a phone consultation between her family and Dr. Daniel Bober, chief of psychiatry at Memorial Regional Hospital. Dr. Bober signed the Baker Act paperwork without personally evaluating Hadley. After meeting with Ms. Hadley and speaking with her mental health provider and members of her family, the decision was made to initiate the Baker Act in order to ensure her safety. The action is consistent with Florida law, which aims to protect individuals experiencing a crisis. Failing to take appropriate action and provide necessary care for Ms. Hadley would have been a breach of Dr. Bober's ethical and professional obligations. An attorney for Dr. Bober told NBC Miami in a statement. Hadley was initially taken to Memorial Regional Hospital, then transferred to Life Skills South Florida in Deerfield Beach. Despite testing negative for drugs, she was held under the Marchman Act, a Florida law that allows for involuntary substance abuse treatment. She remained at the facility until her release on April 8th of 2024. The lawsuit claims the commitment was part of a broader effort by Perez to separate Hadley from her husband, Javon Hadley. According to court documents, Perez allegedly made false claims of domestic violence against Javon, which Hadley denies. Desiree Perez has denied all allegations in a countersuit. She stated her actions were motivated by concern for her daughter's well-being and her mental health. Baby. So my thing is, right, what has me gagged is that they actually use the Marchman Act which is it's a Florida law that involved for involuntary substance abuse treatment. But when she was transferred, she tested negative for drugs. So there was no substance abuse. So she shouldn't have been. You see what I mean? This is, honey. There might be some truth to what she's saying, but
Well,
she
substance
also said that.
alcohol as well.
Oh, okay, touche,
And
touche.
yeah, some drugs are in your system longer than others. So yeah, that doesn't really rule out things.
Touche. See, this is why I appreciate your being here. But yeah, that is crazy though. And I think, look, the mama done filed a countersuit and everything. I think this is going to get messy.
Yeah, it's sad. It's really sad. I
Mm-hmm.
don't
Let me
think
see if I can
people
find any.
commit her child for no reason. I mean, I know there's some crazy people in the world. Let's not get it twisted. And sometimes this does happen, maybe, with the collusion of health professionals and so forth. But yeah, this is not usually the case that a mom would put her daughter in a place like that for no reason. We don't really know the backstory to what's going on here and why she did it.
I'm actually gonna see if I can just do a quick Google search because you're right, Chill. There has to be a reason. And there was alleged abuse. The mama saw abuse. Maybe the daughter doesn't realize she's being abused, or she knows it and she's just okay with it, but it's hard for the mom to look at it. So yeah, she
Yeah.
took measures to say, look, we got to get this girl away from that motherfucker before she
Well,
ends up getting killed.
right. So, and I can't blame her if that was her reason, because women so often get trapped in these circumstances, and maybe she thought that was her only way out at the time to get her away from him. Yeah, it's a lot going on here.
Wait a minute, is this him? Is this Javon? Let me see if I can show y'all because I don't know what picture this is or where this came from, but it looks like, are they inside of a jail? Hold on, let me get the let me share. Okay, so this is Javon, that's Demarie, and this is Desiree.
Hmm.
Chill, you looking at his face, and I'm trying to see if I see some asymmetry.
It's kind of blurry.
Yeah.
Hard to call it.
Mm-mm. Or maybe that maybe I'm looking at the background. Maybe that's a Chinese restaurant.
Yeah,
A
that's what I'm
Chinese
thinking. A
bistro or something.
restaurant. Yeah.
Well, I'm sure this is not the last we have heard of this. So before we go to the next story, does anybody want to add anything?
Who is Javon? What does he do? That's a rhetorical question. Don't answer it.
Because you know I was gonna look it up, girl. I said, well, let me do some research.
Never mind. I don't want to
know. Well, here's somebody else that you don't want to know about, honey. Someone that I actually have not even heard of this person, but I think let this be a warning for those who like to put all of their people my age aren't really doing that much, but these young kids, honey, they put each and everything online, and now because of that, Real Bleeder, a Louisiana rapper, has been arrested. So I just shared this link. That name though, Real Bleeder, is killing me. Oh Lord! So rapper Real Bleeder was booked into I'm sure I'm going to say this wrong, Ouachita Correctional Center after allegedly pulling a gun and threatening violence during a confrontation at Pecan Land Mall in Monroe, Louisiana. The Baton Rouge rapper faces 2 counts of aggravated assault with a firearm, rioting, and illegal carrying of weapons. The incident, which unfolded Sunday, May 19th, was filmed and later posted on social media, helping investigators identify his ass. According to authorities, Real Bleeder was involved in a heated exchange with two individuals believed to be members of the rival YNN gang. KTVE reports that the confrontation took place outside the Pecan Land Mall on Millhaven Road, a busy shopping center in Monroe. Uh, Let me see. Matter of fact, we can just go ahead. It's a really quick video clip, and y'all just gonna be shaking y'all head.
Why? Why
Girl,
would
I,
you upload lock him up? Don't let him out.
Hey, chill out, man. Oh, bullshit, scary, Monroe ass niggas, man. Oh, bullshit ass niggas, man. Tear this bitch up right now. Oh, come on, y'all. Yeah, man. No, man.
girl,
Wow.
Well, I'm sure they don't call him Real Bleeder for no reason.
Crazy.
Child. Does anybody else want to add anything before we go to our last story? All right, y'all. And our last story is about another rapper that y'all don't care about, DDG. I don't know. And Chill, you probably have heard about this, honey, because this happened in Houston.
Yeah, with his brother.
Out there fighting at DreamCon. And just really quickly, DreamCon is like the Comic-Con for Black people. And to my knowledge, I believe this was the first time it was being held in Houston.
Mm-hmm.
So for him to bring his stupid ass and his stupid ass brother with his stupid ass shit and got mad of a nickname that he has laughed at before, child,
Just stupid asses. Stupid asses.
Just a bunch of stupid asses. Girl. So anyway, I just shared this link from All Hip Hop. DDG defends brother Dub after DreamCon fight that turned ugly. As a matter of fact, first what we're gonna do is actually watch the fight, and then we're gonna watch the person who was beaten up, who was jumped. He actually speaks out and he says that he plans to take legal action. So let me get the clip. Give me 1 second. Ooh, wrong screen. Sorry. Let me show. I'm gonna share the correct screen. There we go. Let's let that load. Okay.
Oh, don't come back, nigga. You can't run from the club. What we got going? What we got going? What's up?
Okay, so that was there. You see how the brother Dub done pretty much punched him for calling the nigga doo-doo garbage. And again, this is a nickname that DDG himself has laughed at before. But I'm guessing because of everything that he's going through at the moment, I guess maybe now's the time he's extra sensitive and ain't trying to hear that. But still, this is just stupid. Just stupid
wrong.
Shit.
He wasn't wrong, though.
He was. Now, let's listen to what the guy who was attacked, let's see what he has to say.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all probably saw me at DreamCon earlier across y'all phone screens getting assaulted by DDG, his brother, and one of his friends or something like that. I want them to come ahead and come out here to tell y'all how that whole thing started. So boom, I'm standing there, me and my boy standing in the vendor hall, we chilling. See DDG walking by, and it's whatever. I heard about DDG before. I heard the name, heard before. You know what I'm saying? I'm thinking it'd be funny, just a little joke to do. All right, so I call him Voodoo Garbage from around the way. His homeboy decided to come back. His brother, Doug, decided to go ahead, come back. Tried to press me about what I said. He said, Doodle Garbage. You said Doodle Garbage. Push the shit out of me. Hey, what's up, everybody? Y'all saw me at drink.
All right, that was part one of that, and then part two, where he talks about taking legal action.
I gotta take legal action against him or his brother, somebody out here. That's unacceptable. They broke my chain. I'm banned from the event. I'm over here. Glasses gone. I ain't got the glasses no more. The glasses made my whole fit. Come on.
But why did you call them doo-doo garbage? Like, why did you say that?
I thought it was all jokes. I never seen DDG react like that in the past. Never seen him tell anybody go do something to anybody else. So I'm thinking it's all good. It's all cool. I seen him throw some gloves to some people that said it to his face a few times. You know, even if he did that, I would have been like, hey, my fault, man. Whatever, went on my way. But he didn't want to do that. And I can't lie. His brother came up to me and started putting his hands on me. He said, listen, no, I got legal action against him.
So yeah, that was that on that. Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
What in the elementary school name calling is do garbage? It's giving very much first grade. You can't curse yet. But you're getting all huffy over being called do garbage. That's a state of society we're in now. Okay.
Yes. And it says the rest of the article says while DDG didn't physically engage in the fight, he was caught on camera saying check him to someone off screen. He later tried to walk it back, claiming that he meant for his brother to check and see if he was okay or needed help. In a Twitter space chat, DDG defended Dub's action, saying his brother was in fear for his life and accused the man of following them around DreamCon, trying to embarrass us and bully us. He added, so he lost Sonic rings and dismissed the backlash, saying people always blame him because he's lit. He also claimed the confrontation was part of a skit, though Lil J clearly didn't get the memo. DDG had already warned people ahead of the event not to test him with the nickname. Nobody comes up to me and says doo-doo garbage, he says in a clip before DreamCon. If a fan came up to me on some doo-doo garbage shit, I'm going to hold that nigga up so goddamn bad. Nigga know better. After the incident, he doubled down on social media, tweeting that the last person to call him the nickname lost the Mario coins and mocking critics as poor. So he says, if we mad about it, we're poor. Ooh, hella, honey, you about to have a very, very interesting battle, honey, for the next few years of your life, girl. Oof. I tell you that. Tomato, tomato, tomato. Well, does anybody want to add anything else about doo-doo garbage? Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
Doo-doo garbage out here like la-di-da-di-da. I can do whatever I want.
And you know what? You own something, favorite Taurus, because a lot of his fans are people of that community who go around being like, la-di-da-di-da, I can do whatever I want. So, yep, that explains it.
Yep.
Y'all, well, that was all the tea that I had for us today. So before we head out, did any of you have any tea that you want to share? Any tea I might have missed? Go ahead, favorite Taurus.
I just have one story today. So in celebration of everyone being who they are for their pride, and the upcoming release of the Noah's Ark film, we're now getting more information, the behind the scenes tea, if you will. And so it's been reported, or she actually posted herself, T.S. Madison will actually be in the movie, which is exciting. And she posted on her social media today.
Yay! Oh, I love this. Hey, shit, if anybody need to be in it, it's her.
Truly.
Oh,
Truly. So I encourage everyone, if you have Paramount Plus or you have multiple email addresses, I'm not sure if I should say on the recording line, but get you a 7-day trial and watch the film, because this is huge, not only for LGBTQ, but also for Black queer people as well. So I highly encourage everyone to view in, watch it, kiki, laugh. It's going to be a good one. I can feel it.
Yes, indeed. I can't wait. And I certainly can't wait for it to come out. So, and I also, wouldn't recommend, the good trial was a bad idea, that using it just for the free trial to cancel me, that's a terrible idea. And another terrible idea that I would not recommend is that if you know someone with Spectrum that has TV with Spectrum, they actually get Paramount Plus free with their TV plans. So I wouldn't use their login, because they speak against peer, sharing of passwords and things like that.
Oh, that's even worse, Auntie. Oh, that's a terrible idea. Oof. How'd you come up with it? How dare you? Ooh.
Isn't that crazy?
It's horrible.
Well, does anybody thank you so much for that, Will? And does anybody have any other tea they want to share? Oh, I think Missy want to share some tea. What you talking about, girl?
Tell her. Let it out. What Auntie do to you?
She know I can't stand her name. Well, y'all, thank you for taking time out of your busy day to come and sip tea with me. We will be back tomorrow at 12:30 Eastern Standard Time, if you can make it. In the meantime, you all have a fabulous rest of your day.